So I'm hitting the live stream now, making sure it's going to come up. Let's do this. Full screen. We're going to say go live. And then I'm going to... You getting us some music, Brian?
Yes, it's coming on. DJ Pickle. I don't have any of that chops.
Oh, geez. That's not good.
What?
That's too much for whatever that was. Yeah, that's all right. Oh, man, that's enough of that.
Yeah, that's terrible.
All right, we're going to share with a few people real quick. We will be starting in 2 minutes.
Okay. Welcome to Biz for Good Show. About to start.
About to start.
Check us out on www.biz4goodshow.com. Join the movement.
Join the movement.
Get against the noise.
We have... This is so weird. Dang it. All right. We ready for this? Okie dokie. Let's roll.
Hold on.
We'll be starting in 30 seconds.
That works. Okay. Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
And...
Welcome to the Biz for Good Show, where we highlight misfits, outcasts, and renegades for the being good and doing good movement. We spotlight people that are changing the world by having integrity and honesty and creating an environment of connection, thus showing the true secret to success and creating a life of greater impact. So come on board and create your own Biz for Good life.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Biz for Good Show. I am your host, Bobby Glenn James, along with the most mantabulous human being on the planet, Ryan Pilkington. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Pilkington in the house. Tell us about the show, Ryan. What do we got today on the show? What do we got going on? What's happening?
This is gonna be fun.
You sure?
Yeah.
You got this?
I got
this. This is gonna be fun. Yeah. We've been talking to our guests. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be good stuff.
So thanks for joining us for another episode of the Biz for Good Show.
Another episode.
Today's title of the show is The 15 Emotions That Have Sold Everything on Earth with Brian Gregory.
15 emotions. Ooh, I'm excited to dig into this and find out. Because that's how we buy stuff, right, is emotions, right?
Oh, definitely.
We don't buy through common sense. That's bullcrap.
That's why they say when you're like having a stressful day, don't go to the shopping network.
Really? Don't go to the shopping network?
Yeah.
But it's so good to buy crap that you don't need.
I needed that jazzerciser.
Jazzerciser.
Speaking of jazzerciser,
Yes.
I wanted to give you an update on some things about my health,
Yes.
if that's okay.
No. We don't do stuff like that on this show.
It was about a few episodes
He's
ago.
going to ignore me.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
It's a few episodes that I was mentioned that I was in the hospital doing a weight loss surgery.
Yep.
And so it's been December 18th since I had the surgery, and I'm 86 pounds down.
86 pounds down.
So,
Wow. Bam. That's what we're talking about.
You can go to another podcast that I do. That's the Charging Elephant podcast.
Charging Elephant podcast.
You can go to Apple, Spotify, all those
And
places.
find out about all that cool stuff that Ryan is doing, and that we're going to jump out of an airplane when he loses 150 pounds.
Yeah, which is just around
the corner.
I'm 64 pounds away.
Oh, dang it. I don't know what I was thinking. Whatever.
Anyways,
awesome.
I digress.
Awesome.
Thanks for all the support out there.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the show. Let's go ahead and do the bio here for Gregory, Mr. Robert Gregory.
Brian.
Okay, gosh.
Robert, that's me.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm Bobby, but
Somebody came in our office just
that's
a minute
right.
ago.
They
and
said
just
Robert.
Robert, you're Bob. And,
I had a feeling that was your problem.
and my name's Ryan. Sorry. Anyways, Brian, sorry. Brian Gregory is the founder and CEO of ADMANITY.com and creator of the breakthrough algorithm behind the ADMANITY Protocol. In addition to creating the ADMANITY algorithm for the ADMANITY Protocol and its testing platform, he has written over 2,000 pages, curriculum, and training materials, as well as being the author of the book Sheep Don't Eat Complicated Grass.
Love it. That's a great title.
Brian is
That's a great title.
And Brian is considered an expert on the topic of emotional marketing and advertising tactics, and is a skilled, entertaining public speaker.
Awesome. Well, folks, let's get crazy. Okay, make sure you go to thebizforgoodshow.com, biz, B-I-Z, the number 4, goodshow.com, and download your checklist. Get your checklist for being good and doing good and getting out there in the world and doing some good in the world, and get that a part of your life. It will assist you in being successful. All right, let's get crazy. Welcome to the show, Brian. Thanks for coming on the show. You said you'd listen to a few, so he knew what he was in for, and he still showed up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a brave guest.
He's a brave guest. We've had some really good brave guests. Cool. So, do we have any challenges? Are we doing anything, or are we gonna just jump right into the interview? What do you think, Ryan?
I think
You have something in your head?
challenge.
You think a Google challenge is? You know what? We were gonna do a lessons in leadership last time. We should.
You want to do lessons in leadership?
Let's just. I think Brian is up for it. You up for a lesson in leadership, Brian?
Let's do it.
All right, this is where we ask our desk. We actually ask the desk here if it could give us a lesson. No, we ask our guests without giving them any promo beforehand or anything. We just kind of throw it on them. If they could give a quick lesson in leadership for the listeners. So, Brian, we're going to turn it over to you, and whatever that looks like to you, a lesson in leadership. Can you give us some kind of insight into what leadership is, how you do it, what matters to you, all that kind of stuff?
Wow, you guys go right to the 25-point questions, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, sometimes it's a surprise. We never know what we're gonna do for this little piece, but we like to shake it up a little to keep you, on your toes.
Well, good. Okay, so leadership. Well, it's important if you're a leader, you got to have some followers. I think that would be a pretty important component to being a leader, and so to get people to follow you I think is especially appropriate in today's world where everybody is judged by how many people are following them on social media. Yeah. And your worth as a human being is determined by how many people are following you. Interesting thing about leadership is everyone likes it. Nobody wants to do it. It's usually, it's way more stress than most people want and wish for. And once you get it, sometimes you're sorry that it's happened. But to be a good leader, I think you just have to be clear of vision, clear of mind, and have a goal that is, as your show is, for good. People won't march in the negative parade for very, very long. It gets old and very depressing.
Yeah.
So a good leader is positive, first of all.
I love it. That's good. That's positive. We talk about this a lot. You can make lots of money and be negative and do stuff, but you can't make it last. You can't do it lasting. You can't create a big following by ripping people off or that kind of stuff. So that's kind of right on that vein, right? Right.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a lot about advertising and how to make money with marketing and persuasion today. And you can't negatively sell somebody into a good mood. And if you surround your commercial with negative thoughts, negative impressions, things like that, what happens is you'll get your point across. You'll have a very negative comment, and you'll basically make the point, but you put people in a crummy mood, and now they're not in a mood for what marketing and advertising is about delivering happiness. So you just put them in the exact wrong house to be in to now present whatever your thing is, which has to have a happy outcome. Well, you've really stacked the deck against yourself. And so I think good leadership, good marketing, and even if it's just social media pals and friends, have a positive message even when things aren't positive.
I love it.
And have a clear goal that you can unify people with and not divide them. Division doesn't work.
So good. I love it. That's you're on the right show. Wouldn't you say he's on the right show?
I'd say, man.
Awesome. Well, let's just jump.
Have a follower. You got to be a good leader, and don't make people
and be happy. And get people in the mood, because then we're going to talk about emotions. I have a feeling, so we're gonna. Yeah. So let's jump right in. We want to ask you, what does Biz for Good mean to Brian?
Well, the reason I wanted to do this show is obviously you're here for the right reasons as well. And the foundations of our company, which is admanity.com, is based in altruism. And it's one of the 15 emotions, by the way, that makes people and persuades people to buy is altruism. And any innovative company that's coming out will probably have altruism in its cause. And here's what happened to me. I used to own publications, magazines, newspapers, this kind of thing. So you learn how to sell ads. Ads are how you live when you have a form of media. And we always used to just tell the advertisers, just, submit your ads by the due date. And it was never our burden to worry what they were going to send us for the ad. That was on them. And in most media, that is the case. Anybody that buys ads out there knows you're expected to create the ad. The media is expected to distribute it. But if you don't know how to create the ad, you don't create a very good ad. And that's what was happening to me. A lot of my advertisers were creating ads that didn't work. Then they would blame the magazine, that's me, because the magazine was the last thing they remembered being involved. And so I realized very quickly that I had to help these people create winning ads if I was going to keep a client relationship very long. And it's amazing how many media sources do not think this way right now, because they don't have time. They can't give you a seminar. They can't, educate you. They just want to get on with their business. And that's what caused me to delve into this emotional rabbit hole that we're going to go down today. finding out that emotions make ads work, which emotions make ads work, which emotions continuously repeat and are always ever present, and could I show this to my advertisers so their ads would work better and they would love me instead of asking for a refund, right? And so we, it took 7 years to create ADMANITY. Because it's not an easy task, and this has never been done before. You can search Google all you want. You'll only find it in one place, and that's admanity.com. But that was the altruism. Could we do this? Because there's no way to find out because it's never been done before. We're just going to have to waste a bunch of money and time to find out if this can actually be done. And I'm very thankful to report that the answer was yes.
I love it, dude. That's cool.
And it makes the title, or not the title, but the name of the protocol makes sense. Like you got humanity in that title, in that brand.
ADMANITY.
ADMANITY.
Oh,
yes.
I
it's
get
advertising meets humanity. ADMANITY.
ADMANITY.
Very good. Very good.
Hey,
now, listeners, did that just come to you, or did he say something that you just got it?
Just got it just now. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we got to jump into this. I'm excited to understand this emotional stuff. So we're just gonna. I have a feeling we're just going to turn the time over to you, and you just kind of explain to us what's this 15 emotions that has sold everything, and how does all this work and connect, and I'm sure me and Ryan will have questions, but I'm just excited to hear what's this all about.
Absolutely, it's my favorite topic, so we're all in the right place today.
Perfect.
When you, and most people in advertising, let's say you've been in advertising for 20 years, you might have an agency. Almost anybody that's been around it long enough will admit to you and agree with you if you say, hey, isn't emotionality kind of the center of this whole thing? And most people will say, yeah, we all agree that emotions sell things, persuade people, and emotions move the needle. And so everyone will agree with you, but which emotions? How do you use them? And just because that guy over there is a car dealer and he uses that emotion, will that work for me as an attorney? And how do I get the emotions that sell my thing to the world? I don't care about your thing. I want to know how to sell my products, my services. And so the emotions, we basically just did a lot of research and found out a really interesting point. If you look at all the ads that were real home run winners, and I mean advertising that changed the game for whatever company that came out with it, and just took them from zero to hero, you start to see repetitive patterns, formulas, if you will, the same emotions recurring again and again and again and again, selling the same types of products again and again and again. You go looking for this. But we did, and that's one of the things that took forever, was to isolate the 15 emotions that are just consistently winning the game. There's hundreds of human emotions. For example, love and hate are very strong emotions, but you won't find them in the ADMANITY Protocol because you can't love a product really, and you can't hate a product into a purchase. So it doesn't help us as salespeople and marketers to use those emotions. We use emotions such as affinity, which is happiness, or authority, which is trust, attraction, which is transformation and improvement, temptation, which is a craving, urgency, which is fear of loss. And emotions like these are the make up the crux of the 15 emotions. That's what changes the game. That's what causes another human being to purchase. And then what we found out was, once we had the 15 emotions isolated, was that there are specific combinations when you put one in next to the other in the ad. That's what creates the desire to buy. Alone, they're just sort of like elements on a periodic table. If you remember science class, it's when the elements combine that you start to get interesting compounds and interesting things happen. And it's the same with emotions. There are emotional laws, just like there are scientific laws. And the emotions that go best together end up in these ads. And so we have all the formulas for all of these different kinds of ads for different kinds of businesses and products. And we basically engineered a way for you to get those answers in 10 minutes just by taking a simple online test, which you guys just absolutely did yourselves and proved it to yourself.
Yeah. No, it was good.
So there's 15 emotions that have ruled all sales for all time. Here's the interesting thing about humans. We are all human 1.0, let's say. Human 2.0 has not happened yet. So you have the same emotions as Caesar. Does that make you feel great? Yeah. Same emotions of Socrates.
What about Brutus? How about Brutus?
Brutus. True.
He stabbed Caesar. See,
all of us are born with this DNA essentially to be, and you use all these emotions every day. So what we're doing is we're saying, okay, you know these emotions. These are the basic primal emotions that have motivated humanity for thousands of years. They're not going to stop doing that. They're going to continue to motivate humanity instead of trying to master all of the things technology wants you to get on top of, because that's an endless list. Why don't we just master the 15 emotions that have sold everything on the planet Earth forever and get really good at that, and then everything else just becomes secondary nature. If you can understand how to use emotions to sell, you can sell on any media, any platform, any social media, print, billboard, radio, TV, door hanger. It does not matter. The human that sees it will have an emotional response, and that's how you sell.
Whoa. Dude.
Do you have to align? So mine came up as attraction. So I have to align what my audience wants from these keywords I got. It was desire, growth, improvement, change. I have to kind of use.
Are those emotions that he got from doing the thing?
Well, what we show you, you've got the first thing you get after you take your 10-minute test is you get a document that you have there. It's called a brand brief. It's just 4 or 5 pages. And it tells you, in essence, like an X-ray, it looks beneath the logo, and it says, there you go, you're the attraction archetype. You're the attraction emotion. And you see, he's very attracted to it already. He can't resist. And it's a very cool archetype, because the attraction archetype, I'll just tell you, is about transformation. It's about helping others or helping your brand to change, transform, and improve. So that's what you do. You transform people. You change the ugly duckling into the swan, the butterfly, and all of the other metaphors you can imagine. That's what people want from you. It's very difficult for them. They cannot do it themselves typically. They look to the attraction brand to make it easier on them, because they know they are probably not qualified to do it. And that's where your authority comes in. So what you'll find out is not only are you the attraction brand, but you'll find out which of the other emotions within ADMANITY, those 15 emotions, they come into play. Some of them are major players for you, and you'll want to gear everything around those emotions in your marketing and your emails and everything else. And some are kind of minor players. They're not nearly as important. They play a minor role. So we show you in a 150-page document, which is what you're going to receive next, everything about your brand. And the only thing I can compare it to, guys, is if we were all lucky enough to have an ad agency swoop down from the heavens and pick our brand up and say, hey, we're going to give you all the coaching for free. We're just going to show you everything here, and we're just going to make you a big brand. We're going to show you your marketing tactics. We're going to show you your advertising formulas. We're going to show you the emotions. We're going to show you the words, the phrases, the metaphors. We're going to show you the colors you should be using. We're going to show you how the upsells for your brand will work, and how the win backs when you lose a client, how will that happen for you? And instead of an agency charging $10,000 for a document of this type, and probably taking a week or weeks or months to do, we do it you did it in 10 minutes there. You now have that, and we only charge $397 one-time fee. So it's probably one of the best values in business, because it's equivalent to what an agency would want you to know and do if they were being paid a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Dude, that is awesome.
This is getting me excited, because I'm creating this new brand, and I need all this arsenal to really change and help these people. You know?
I love it. I love the whole thing of the ads and humanity and connecting with emotions. And I mean, it because we all know marketing is everything. You don't have a business if you don't have marketing, because it doesn't matter how cool your product or service is. If nobody knows about it, it doesn't matter. And and with all the marketing out there in the world and all of the scam and crap, the only way to make marketing work is to connect with people with the know, like, and trust. And I think using that emotion is how you do that. Is that am I on to something here? Is that true?
Yeah, no, you're spot on. In fact, I have a little rhyme for everybody that you can help remember. This is a very key point, what you just made. Here's my little rhyme. A business person owes it to those he employs to craft a brand heard above the noise. And he who thinks that emotions are for fools owns only the toolbox and disowns the tools.
Wow. I love that, dude. Oh, yeah, that is, oh, man. That may have changed my life just now.
I think so.
I think so.
You have to be heard above the noise. You cannot sell your brand to the world until you know what attracts the world to your brand.
Good against the noise. It's our whole motto. There is so much bombardness out there now of junk that it's hard to find the good stuff. And I guess you're saying that if you use emotion and connection, that's the best way, and that's how we believe too, that goodness, doing good, using that emotion is how you get above it all.
Yeah, it's such a psychological, simple truth. We're sitting here talking right now. We're using our conscious brains to communicate and be very intelligent people right now. But it is your subconscious mind, the mind you never think about, that's 95% of your mind, by the way. Mm-hmm. It's that big brain part of you. Now that's where all your fears, your phobias, your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations, your emotions, and all of your decisions to purchase are made in the subconscious. So this childlike mind that believes what it's told makes all of our decisions for us when it comes to these purchases throughout your whole life, and it makes them based on emotions. It doesn't analyze facts. Your subconscious mind is not a factual mind. That's your conscious brain that does that. Your conscious brain will set up a bunch of rules and triage all the important selling points, but it'll be your subconscious mind that buys it. So we have to structure our ads to speak to the subconscious mind. Good advertising always speaks emotionally. The subconscious picks up on that right away and says, hey, let's get one of those. Boom, done. Decision has been made. The conscious mind will argue forever. It will take those facts and wrestle them to the ground. It cannot make a decision to buy because it doesn't have the emotion aspect to it. So it just sits there and argues. So when you can't convince anybody, go emotional. It's where all of the arguments are won based on emotion. You can see it in everything from advertising to a courtroom. The emotion is where we are humans. We are emotional. Why would we want to talk in the language of a computer to our fellow humans? We should be speaking in emotional terms, and especially when we're trying to persuade them to think as we do. And so it's very, very important that we learn emotions. We don't learn them in school. We do not learn them in college. There's no courses you can take to show you these combinations, these formulas that exist. And up until ADMANITY was created, there was only one option, and that's hire a very expensive ad agency. And they'll do awesome work. We love ad agencies at ADMANITY. They're awesome. But they have to be paid. And most small businesses will never be able to afford those kinds of fees. So here we came along as a way to fill that gap in the market. So any small business could know where to go and get those answers in a matter of minutes. Dude, for a very small fee.
I love it. Wow. Oh man, this is good stuff. So with all this said, let's get a call to action for our listeners. What's your suggestion for them? Is there a gold nugget? Or is there something they need to? Obviously they need to go. How do they go do this? How do they go fill this out?
Sure. There's a very simple, the simplest way to analyze your brand is just to go to admanity.com. That's ADMANITY, admanity.com. And if you go there, you can read all about what we will be able to give you. There's a lot of information there. And by the way, everything comes with a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. So if there's something you don't like about your report, when you do get all the information, you can take 30 days and look it over and make that decision later. You don't have to decide today. So you can go there, and if you just type ADMANITY into Google, I think we own the first 6 pages of Google search on it. There's just tons of information on this. But we also have a special web page that we've created for the Biz for Good viewers and listeners.
Oh, there it is.
So it's a special treat. There you go. That's it. If you go to admanity.com and then just go /biz, the number 4, good, you will get this free report page. Just give us an email for that, and you're going to get a document that is going to tell you so much more than probably what I can tell you here today. But you'll get a free report on emotionality, why it is the number 1 thing, how are brands using it. You know, some of the biggest brands in the world, we can even give examples of how they've turned their whole brands around. And boy, there's a lot of people right now in this COVID economy, as we make this broadcast, who are saying, how do I change my game? This is not fair. I've been dealt a black eye here. I need fast results. I need to get back on the game. We'll show you brands that have done that. We'll show you the formulas they used. These are the same formulas we will recommend to you once you get your quiz. And so this report will show you all kinds of great things that you don't get anywhere else but in that report. And it's all free. So everybody should just go do that. I mean, it's good reading, and it doesn't cost you a dime. And then if you decide you want to move forward and get your reports, you get your brand, what we call the ADMANITY Protocol, which is your test, your brand brief, your 150-page document, and a whole web portal filled with instructional materials, education, podcasts, articles, all there for you, and it just keeps growing every month. If you want to get all that, it's $397, 30-day money back, and I think it's the best deal, especially like you mentioned, Ryan, you're starting out. Hey, if you're just starting out your business, folks, there is no better time than to do it now, because you get off on the right foot instead of making costly mistakes. And if you've been around 20 years and you think you've got all the answers, let me blow your mind. Let me take the assessment, and I bet you any amount of money we blow your mind with what we can tell you about what you thought you knew everything about. This 20-year-old business, we're going to show you how to sell it emotionally for the first time. And this is it's a whole different world once you understand how emotions work in the human brain.
Man, this is cool stuff. We've got some homework to do, Ryan.
Yeah.
And everybody out there listening, you got some homework to do. Get down there to admanity.com. And it's easy to do, too. Admanity.com. / Biz for Good to fill out. Yeah, we need some kudos to let them know people are out there. Yeah.
Or just go to ADMANITY.
Yeah. So cool. Awesome. Brian, thank you so much, man, for being on the show. This has been awesome. This has been really, really enlightening.
I look forward to getting my report.
I love, we talk about this all the time when we started the Biz for Good show, that, hey, this is a no-brainer. It's doing good and being good is good for business. But why do so many companies not do it? And I think marketing, if you pull on emotion and understand your client, your potential client's emotional attraction to you, gosh, it's not rocket science, but why isn't everybody doing it?
Well, I'll give you a quick answer. And we as business people, we're so close to the problem, right? We think consciously all the time. It's just action, reaction all day long. And when we create ads and messaging and funnels and all these things that we have to do now, we think, okay, what are the best things about my business? What are the number 1 things I should be talking about? What am I most proud of? What are my big selling points, right?
The benefits.
Yeah, it features and benefits and facts and figures, and we can bore the entire world 5 times over by making your business a book report. And what the big guys know, and they haven't bothered to share most of the time, because why should they, is that it is none of that makes people buy. It's nice after you've purchased to say, oh, look at all these features and benefits. I got all this. That's great. Show that to them after the sale. To get the sale, you must, and I'm going to say it again, you must first make the person emotional. And that is going to be really simple, easy to understand emotions. You will motivate them through the most, it'll seem almost too simple to some people. They want to, tell them everything. You can't. The human brain isn't built for that. It doesn't make decisions based on piles of facts. It makes a decision like that on emotion. You want to give me facts? You can wait a week or 2 for me to get back to you. You give me the right emotion, I buy right now. And so, why give me 100 reasons why I should try it when one emotion makes me buy it?
Wow. Yeah.
Whew,
That's good stuff.
Okay,
Okay, everybody's got their marching orders. Brian, thank you for being on the show. This has been super, super, super good. Any last words, Brian?
Well, thanks for coming on the show, Brian. We appreciate it, and we'll blast this out for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Super good. Super good. You going to take us out? Any last words, Brian?
Just guys, thanks for doing the good work that you do. It's not easy to do what you do. I think some of the most unsung heroes are hosts of podcasts because they have to be able to interview their guests and get into their various things. And it's not just, there's a lot of work that you guys do behind the scenes to even create a show like this and then to keep it going. Yeah. Above the noise. And so let me be the first to say congratulations to you for being one of the winners in this podcasting world. Great job.
Awesome.
Wow.
Thanks, Brian. Super cool. All right.
All right, we always end the show with a hashtag be good, do good, and we say it 3 times, then we get louder and crazy.
We get louder and louder. You can either watch us and look at us like we're crazy, or you can join in.
Yep.
And if you're out there listening in your car, just start yelling.
Yep. All right, here we go. Hashtag be good,
do good. Hashtag be good, do good. Hashtag be good, do good. Yeah!
And that's a wrap.